Hey guys, this is Matt Invictus. Just got out of Infinity War. If you saw Infinity War more than a week after the premiere, you had it spoiled for you a whole bunch of times. You've seen a million of those goddamn disintegration memes. I knew there was a scene at the end of this movie where a bunch of people disintegrated. I knew some of the people who were going to disintegrate. So, yeah, thanks to dudes on the internet. You know who you are. Spoilers happened. Oh, and also some people at work spoiled it for me too. Shame on them. But anyway, my reaction to Marvel movies... Oh, and by the way, I have a slight headache while recording this, so if I seem a bit off, that's why. Anyway, my reaction to Marvel movies is usually, I liked it, but I wish more DC films would be this good, because, like, I have Marvel fatigue. It's like, they've given me about a dozen movies that I like, I think are watchable. DC has given me one. So there's an element of jealousy, an element of bias. Well, not really bias, because I don't let it affect my analysis of the movie, but I am jealous that it's like Marvel is getting all the watchable movies and DC gives us that shit. But anyway, I like this movie fine, okay? Again, I'm not letting my DC fandom bias me against these movies. It was fine. It's probably my second favorite Marvel film. My first favorite is still the first Iron Man, all the way back in '08. Yeah, this is probably the second or third best. I don't know, I'd have to rewatch them. But I mean, the Russo brothers, they had a lot on their plate. They had a lot of characters to handle. This was a big task, and I think they handled it all fine. It's like, when a cast is this big, when a movie has this many characters, some of them are going to feel shortchanged. It's going to feel like some of them got the short end of the stick, but they did the best with what they had. It did have a pretty... Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give there are going to be spoilers in this review, so yeah, I'm going to... I might, if you haven't seen it yet, I am going to ruin it for you. Where was I? I guess it did have a very epic feel, like big stakes. It did feel like a monumental film. Is monumental even a word? I don't know. It felt like an important film. It did feel like it accomplished something, and it was not as generic as I thought it would be. It did not feel like a generic comic book film, even though it kind of should. I don't know. But the point is, the filmmakers did a fine job. Good for them. But my big takeaway from this movie is I think it's going to be the end of the MCU. And I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not certain. I'm not willing to bet money on this or anything. But I mean, I think that if there was a point... Well, look, Marvel films, this Marvel Cinematic Universe, has been going on for a long time. 10 years now. They've been making these since 2008. It's like, I don't know the exact number of movies. I guess it's around 20 movies in 10 years. It's like... These films are a long-running series, and every series is going to run out of steam eventually, okay? Nothing lasts forever. And I believe that was a line from one of the films. So, coincidence. And I think that if there was a point where these movies were going to start losing steam, it's this one, because it's like, it was just so epic, so intense. This was the movie where all the shit went down. I don't see how they're going to top it. And it's like, yeah, not every superhero film needs to, like, be huge and have, like, super high stakes or anything, but it's like, the franchise like the MCU, it is dependent on those epic high stakes films, and I don't see how they're going to top this one. So I do have concerns about the future of the Marvel movies, and doesn't even really have anything to do with the deaths, because, I mean, first of all, most of the major characters are fine. It's like, I think the original 6 characters, the Avengers from the first movie, I think all of them are alive. I don't know what the fuck happened to Hawkeye, who wasn't in this at all. But yeah, they're all alive, and it's like, yeah, Black Panther and Spider-Man, they're big deals. And it's like, all right, I don't. A lot of these deaths probably aren't permanent. I mean, Black Panther and Spider-Man, they'll probably be back, if only because they can still make money off of them. But then again, their next movie, that it could be like set in the past. I think it would be funny if like the next they make another Spider-Man film, and then the very last scene is like Peter getting on the bus that you know is going to lead to his doom. I'd actually kind of like that. But anyway, So yeah, I think this could be the tipping point for the Marvel movies, but I could be wrong. I'm not saying anything for sure. But anyway, getting into the movie itself, again, a lot of it was spoiled for me, but there were a couple surprises. I forgot my man Peter Dinklage was in this. I think I saw the announcement a long time ago, but forgot about it. So seeing seeing Peter Dinklage in this, that was a pretty cool surprise. I was also surprised to see a freaking Red Skull in this, which I thought was hilarious because they couldn't get Hugo Weaving to come back, and they had to get some random dude to reprise the role. Hugo Weaving is one of the weirdest actors ever. The guy was in 2 Matrix sequels, the Hobbit movies, 3 Transformers movies, but he refuses to be in another Marvel film. He refused to take a 5-minute role in what could be the highest grossing movie of all time. So he is one weird motherfucker. Oh, and also he was in that terrible V for Vendetta movie, so he should feel shame. But yeah, a couple of little nitpicks. My least favorite character in the movie was Black Widow's hair. Blonde Widow. I mean, just every moment that hair was on. I know I'm being really superficial here, but every moment that haircut was on screen, it just completely threw me off guard. And I know Natasha gets a new haircut every movie, but they looked at that dye job and thought, this is presentable. Like, Black Widow's look in this film is on par with the characters in Fantastic Stick, or like what's another really bad, Halle Berry Catwoman. It was that bad. So it's like, if they end up making a Black Widow movie or something, they need to bring back the red hair immediately. Anyway, my other least favorite character in the movie was Bruce Banner. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, I don't remember Mark Ruffalo's Hulk being this bad. I mean, maybe if I rewatched the movie, they'd change my mind, but he was so fucking bad in this. He was basically, not only was he comic relief the whole time, but he was the worst comic relief ever. And it's like, Bruce Banner, he is a tragic figure, okay? I mean, I'm not saying he has to be like mopey all the time. They can't have a couple of more positive moments, but it's like reducing his entire character to horrible comic relief was a huge fuck up. I think he's going to be my least favorite movie character of the year. I mean, my least favorite character of last year was the pink-haired chick from The Last Jedi. I think this year it's going to be Infinity War Hulk. And I'd love to see, like, I know, a web comic or something where they bring together, like, all the worst characters from movies, like Infinity War Hulk and General Tumbler from Star Wars. I think a team up with all of them would be fucking hilarious. Okay. Vision, I thought he was very underpowered in this one because it's like, first of all, Vision's not one of my favorite characters or anything, but in Age of Ultron, the shitty Avengers movie, they did set him up to be pretty damn powerful, and then Civil War, he didn't really do much in that one, and then in this one he does even less. And it's like, I mean, maybe there was some reason for him not really using his powers much that I missed, maybe something from the other films that I forgot, but he was very underused in this. I mean, what's her name? What's Scarlet Witch's real? Wanda. Wanda got to do a bunch of cool shit, but then you got, like, Vision, her boyfriend, who's just there to be kind of a dumbass in distress. So I feel like Paul Bettany deserved better. I think Benedict is a little bit miscast as Doctor Strange. I mean, I have not seen the full Doctor Strange movie, and like I like Benedict. I like Sherlock. He didn't ruin the character or anything. He did fine, but I don't know. Watching this, I feel like they could have gotten a better actor to play Doctor Strange. But I mean, maybe if I saw his whole movie, I'd change my mind. Looking at my notes. Oh, this movie kind of ruined Starlord. They kind of like ruined him badly because it's kind of his fault that Thanos wins. I mean, there was scenes like, all right, it seemed like they were pretty close to defeating him. They could have gotten the gauntlet off of him, but then Starlord acts like a fucking prick, and he kind of ruins it. So there's a very strong possibility that the reason half the world was wiped out was because of fucking Starlord. So they may have unintentionally ruined this character badly. But all right, let's moving on from that. I thought the visuals and the action were fine. I was getting a bit sick of MCU action, especially in like Spider-Man and Black Panther. But this movie, most of the action and the visuals were top notch. They did a good job there. And on top of that, Thanos was pretty damn good, and I had zero expectations for this character, but he was actually a pretty damn good villain. Definitely one of the better comic book movie villains of the past decade. Very good. I like how they made him, like, a bit more complex, not just some generic big bad villain. They even managed to make him a little sympathetic. I actually was pretty impressed most of the time Thanos was on screen. So again, it's a perfectly good movie, a good cast, good action, a good villain for a comic book film. I liked it a lot, and trying to think of anything I missed. Any final thoughts? Oh yeah. Another problem I had. Okay. Half the population just disintegrates, turns into dust at the end. They did not do enough to show like the worldwide chaos that would result from half of everyone disappearing. You saw the superheroes, but the rest of the world, guys, half the people are gone. That will cause things to happen, and you didn't really show the things. The only time we really saw the effects of that was in the post-credit scene, and I think that this is the worst after-credit scene for a Marvel movie, at least that I can remember. It was so bad. I waited through all those goddamn credits for it. But anyway, okay, like you see Fury and that chick from How I Met Your Mother. They die. You see just like a little bit of the destruction that half the people disappearing would cause. Not enough, but some of it. And then it ends with a big tease for Captain Marvel. And that just cracked me up, because like the big thing that this film set up is supposed to be setting up is Captain Marvel. And Carol Danvers, at least modern Carol Danvers, is one of the worst Marvel characters ever. Not the worst, not technically the worst, but so bad. And it's like, if there is any Marvel movie that is going to turn out to be a disaster, it is Captain Marvel, because they have like no source material to pull from. I mean, they've given her like 4 or 5 ongoing series since maybe 2012, and all of them have sucked. They have not done anything good with this goddamn character. Captain Marvel is the Fetch of the comic book world. They keep trying to make her happen, but she's never gonna happen. And I think it's funny that Rachel McAdams, who originated Stop Trying to Make Fetch Happen, is a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She was in Doctor Strange, so foreshadowing. But anyway, so yeah, that was disappointing. And it's like, again, a lot of these dudes are still alive. Iron Man, Cap, Thor, really most of the big names, they're still there. There is still some potential for the Marvel movies going forward, but again, and also something toxic masculinity and LGBT representation. So I think those are all my thoughts on this film. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe. Good night, everybody.